We have so many callers.
I know
always at the
you really
end.
wanted to talk to Phillip, though. So let's
Please.
talk to Phillip.
Yay.
Phillip, welcome to the show. You are wondering if the universe is deterministic and what that means for caring about what other people do?
Yeah. How do you justify blaming or praising people?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Since they couldn't have really done anything else, right?
Right, exactly. So let's dive in a little bit for people who maybe need a little bit more of a summary here. What exactly is your question? What kind of a determinism are you positing here?
Since we don't really have free will, how do we go about being mad at somebody for cutting us off or doing something that we didn't like, and or then conversely, why should we praise somebody if they were always gonna cure cancer or something?
Yeah. Okay. Good question. Eric, I know you wanted to take this call, so I'm going to hand it over to you.
Oh, okay. Well, so let's take a look at the idea of determinism, because I feel like there's this nihilism, there's this kind of surrender that people have when they think that, oh my gosh, if I don't have free will, then we're all just meat robots and there's no point in doing anything good or bad. And I think that just doesn't make a lot of sense. Let's say we were meat robots for just a second. Let's say that people don't actually have an active choice. They're just kind of experiencing those things out. And I think that we've built systems to encourage, discourage, and prevent certain behavior, right? So if you do something dangerous and prove that you're a danger to yourself or others, whether or not you did it by free will or whether or not you are a malfunctioning robot, putting you in jail and taking you away from the population is the appropriate thing to do. It prevents danger that you could do to yourself and others. If we understand that praising behavior that we want to see reinforces and causes that individual to exhibit that behavior more, then what we're doing, you're seeing the impact of it. I mean, should we give credit to people who do good things? Well, it encourages people to do more good things. Whether or not there is some kind of grand scheme of, free will around it doesn't change the very tangible fact that, receiving benefit for a thing reinforces that behavior. And so even if you're just talking about randomly through iteration, you can see in machine learning that if you're selecting for a certain behavior in machine learning, you're going to see that behavior more. I think that that's just, I mean, if we were to extrapolate that, I think you'd have the same thing.
Sure. I totally agree with you. I'm thinking, because I'm the type of person that gets, kind of bitter when someone, screws me over or something, and I could hold on to that for a while. But after having, learned about determinism and, agreeing with that concept, it kind of throws my bitterness off.
Hey, if it's a way that you feel like gives you more understanding or tolerance for other people, cool. If that's how you interpret that, I mean, that is a just as valid a worldview as believing that free will exists. And, there's no, because we are at an impasse, as far as I'm aware, in terms of proving one or the other, regardless, or definitely, then if that is what you want to believe because it helps you exist with other people in this hellscape, cool. Good for you. That is awesome. If it's going to impact the way you make your decisions, I would make sure that you are using as sound a logical case as possible. But yeah, I think the thing to keep in mind here, though, is when we talk about a deterministic universe, a lot of the time what we end up doing is talking about a universe where everybody has a path laid out for them that is you can't get away from it. It is just this inevitable forward push by something, biology, fate, something that is just pushing them forever towards this one goal. Whereas I think that the understanding that I have is what impacts us is not under our control. Therefore, it is determined. But that impact includes if we are blamed for things or if we are praised for things. That is going to impact how I do things next time because I don't have control over how my brain interprets that praise and elicits a response that makes me want it again, right? And so the idea of punishment and praise should always be tempered by the idea that free will probably, especially as we understand it, is a myth. But we shouldn't then say, therefore, everybody is just on their little trolley track doing their thing and we have no impact. It then becomes a conversation of, okay, what are the impacts that are determining these courses of action? And I guarantee you, how other people perceive you and interact with you is a huge determining factor in a deterministic world. So whether or not we even can make the decision to praise or blame somebody, which is an entire other conversation that could get very meta, I think that it does make a lot of sense to continue to praise good behavior because what that does is that reinforces that behavior deterministically because that's how our brains are structured, is to find those patterns, enjoy things, and pursue those patterns that we enjoy. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm coming from.
Yeah, and it's not necessarily choice. A lot of people think that you need to have choice for that, but I mean, we can point to computers that can build better versions of themselves. We are sufficiently complex to do those kinds of things, and so it's not out of the realm of possibility that we are making that impact and driving towards well-being. I don't know. I think Phillip just kind of threw me off. Phillip, you kind of threw me off with the getting angry on the car thing.
I mean,
because
because
I don't.
Well, I'm glad.
Yeah, me too. Because it really got me thinking. I don't chalk it up to them not having free will, but what I would offer as an alternative is maybe their motivation is entirely unrelated to your motivation.
Like in your head, just be like, "Oh, they probably really need to shit.
They really got to poop.
Like that is,
they really got to poop.
I've been there. I get that.
You know,
I've done similar thinking exercises.
Yeah, they
similar situations. Yeah,
they're a parent and they found out that their child is injured and they're trying to get home quickly, or maybe they're driving really slow. But you know, what if there is just a really hot pot of coffee in the passenger seat? You know, like. I don't know. I guess that's the route that I go with it instead of saying that, you know, oh, you know, they're just on some track that eliminates, you know, I don't know. I guess determinism itself doesn't do it for me. I go down a different path, but either way, y'all are having a deeper conversation and I'm sitting here thinking about someone having to poop on the highway. So I don't know if I'm adding very much to the conversation, but I really appreciate the call.
Yeah, thank you so much for calling in, Phillip. I would love to continue talking about this.
Big fan.
Yeah, feel free to call back.
Yeah, thank
you. Sorry, what was that?
I just said feel free to call back. We'd love to keep talking about determinism. It's fun.
Oh, hell yeah. This is my first time calling, and it went very well.
Good.
Awesome.
Glad you felt it. So did we. All right. Thanks, Phillip.